Today, I'm going to be showing you the new body that I've got to replace my Raptor. I love the Raptor, but I want to switch it up a little bit. I want to do something that I've always wanted to do, so I'm actually going to move you lower so you can see. If you can't already tell, these are truck bodies, and this is a bed cage that will bolt onto the back of these. My initial plan was to start off with the 79 F150. I really liked the body style of all of the classic trucks, especially ones that are made of Lexan. The other one that I had in my mind was this one. This is a 66 F100 body that I really don't like the front end. I kind of don't like the wheel arches, so I didn't go with this one at first. However, if you could tell, there is a small difference between these two. The 79 F150 is much smaller than the 66. Also, back in the 70s, they squared them off more here than they did on the 60s. However, there's an obvious height difference. You can just tell from the front that it's much larger. Also, if we go from the side, yep, you can see the 66 is slightly longer. Now if we go back to back, right about where that bed cage was bolted to, you can see it's taller. And also just in general, the door is larger. So, with the crawler that I have, this is my TRX4 as it sits today with the Raptor body. One thing that I kind of don't like about it is that it's got this camper shell. That's just the way these came. They had some that had the camper shell, and that meant that you could swap this directly onto the TRX4s that had the Land Rover body, which was like an SUV, not really a truck. The one downside to this is a 12.8 chassis. Most regular RC crawlers that you see are going to run in the 12.3 inch wheelbase. So with this one and the 79 F100 body, if I install it, which I can't because the bumper up here is too wide, but that's about where I'd go. You can see it makes it really short, and if I had the bed cage to it, that would be somewhere here. It interferes with the shock towers. However, that's about where it'd sit. Well, where your spare tire goes, down in here, in this little basket, the rear axle would hit this. So I needed to come up with another solution, and that was to get this, the 66. You can see the wheel arches. They're not a perfect circle. They kind of slant back here. More than likely, I'll come back and take a cutter and make that more round, make it a little bit more pleasant. So I haven't drilled front holes yet. I might be able to tweak some of the bumper to fit the body. You can see it there. So that should fit on there. You can see it comes back a lot farther. And if I put it on the bed cage, it's going to sit back here, and where that little basket is, shouldn't hit my axle. The whole point of having this little basket is so you can have a spare tire back here, which I'll probably run. That'll make the rear end a little bit heavy, but that's fine. Going more for the scale points this time around and less of just a hardcore crawler with a super lightweight Lexan body. My plans next are to finish trimming up the body. There's some rough edges, as I'm sure you saw. You're probably judging me for that, but I got to trim up some of that. Also, for the front bumper clearance, this body actually comes with a faux bumper. You can see down there at the bottom, it's got the little recess in the middle here for where you could put a license plate. Obviously, I'm not going to run a license plate, but I really like this bumper up here. It's really nice. It's very high clearance. It almost clears the bumper. on each side, so I'm actually going to whack off this bumper. That'll give me a little bit more clearance, and I'll be able to set the body down lower, because where it sits now with the posts where they were with the Raptor body, it sits a little high. The entire bed cage sits up off of the frame, which I don't really want. That doesn't look good. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to trim this front bumper, drill holes for these mounts, more than likely try and move these mounts down some. That'll help bring the center of gravity down. And then my running boards here, I've got spacers under them compared to a regular TRX4, just to give me a little bit more clearance. So now I have a completely flat running board. So what I might do is lower those down, just as get it with the bottom of the door here. And then once I decide I need more clearance, because I'll probably slide on the those rails more, I'll probably end up lifting them back up and chopping the door off some. That'll be fine. It'll be fine. Don't stress about it. But all that is to hopefully get the bed as low as it can go, which is in the ballparks of there. So that's kind of what I hope it'll look like here in the next week or so. Hopefully this weekend I'll be able to get it up and running. Anyways, this is pretty much what I've been working on tonight. Sorry for the mess in the garage. Completely redoing it. We're doing some painting, that sort of thing. But this is what I've been working on today. And now for some bonus content. Do y'all remember seeing this? Probably not. I don't think I made a whole lot of videos of it on my channel. I think maybe I strapped the GoPro here to the hood once or twice. Don't recall if I really posted a whole lot about it. However, this was pretty much my first scale RC crawler that I had. I had the night crawler before, but this was really my introduction to scaleness. This was an SCX-10, the original one. When I initially got it, it had much shorter suspension links on it. So the tires would hit both inner fenders, which was super weird. So what I did was I got a whole bunch of aftermarket parts. Got some Boom Racing lower control arms, kind of custom made the upper links. Got some skid plates, you know, just a handful of things. It's treated me really well. However, what I have done is I've kind of reverted back to the original suspension here in the back. The front, I'm running some stupid long shocks with some aftermarket mounts. I did get a aluminum transmission case and transfer case, because the plastic ones strip out. They've got screws that go from the bottom of the skid plate up into the mount, which they tend to strip out just from the torque of the motor. So I went back with the aluminum, which it came red. I didn't really have a choice in that. However, I've got plans for this. Remember that body I was telling you about, the 79? So as of right now, this doesn't have a home. And my Jeep body down there, it's a little worn out. Plans for this are to mount that on there. And then I've got a package here that this is gonna go somewhere back here. It'll look something like that. The only issue is this chassis as it sits, I've stretched it quite a bit. Those Boom Racing links, they are universal. And what I did to fit this is I made them as long as they could possibly go. And then the upper links, I made them to fit to where my pinion angles were happy. This doesn't have any lockers or anything like that. So as long as the axles are pointing the right direction, it's ran really good. What I want to do is I want to make this into a 12.3 wheelbase. Right now, it's about 13 inches. Yeah, it's longer than my TRX4. So I want to make this one narrow. I want to put this body on it, and I got to get a rear bumper, of course. I'll probably get something better in the front. I want something a little bit more wide, something a little bit wider. just because this is a giant square front. I really don't want to ruin it by smacking into things, so I really need to find a good low profile, wide bumper. Right now, the motor runs decent. It does get hot and it does smell like stuff's on fire, which is probably not a good thing. So for motor, right now it's actually running the stock Losi Nightcrawler motor, which was in the Losi. I took that out to brushless. The electronics are the original electronics. I think for the ESC, what I'll do is I'll go back with a Hobbywing 1080 SW. It's the same one that I'm now running in the TRX4, plus getting a Holmes Hobbies Trailmaster Sport 21 turn. This will pretty much match what the TRX4 Sports are running, at least for speed and torque. I think that should be more than enough for this. This is just going to be another trail basher. More of my backup for when I break my TRX4 and I still want to wheel on that same day. This is something that I've kind of left alone pretty much for the most part. Just thrown in the truck and bashed on it from time to time. So aside from that, I've got just a few upgrades that I want to do. Make some more metal parts. These are plastic sliders. All the time when I'm sliding on them, I can definitely hear them smashing into the body. I can hear the Lexan bending because it makes the creaking sound. But this is a project that's going to be kind of put on hold for now. I got to finish the TRX4 first with the fancy bed cage. And hopefully I'll get to that this weekend and I'll be able to give you another update.